What's up, disc golf fans? Derek and Chris here with Gatekeeper Media at our 5th stop of the NT Tour this year for the 2019 Delaware Disc Golf Challenge. This is our 2nd year covering it. Thanks for tuning in to round 2 front 9 coverage for this wonderful event. One of our favorite courses, very much in our backyard. And as always, our coverage is brought to you by Millennium Golf Discs.
Yeah, round 2 was a lot drier than round 1. Round 1 very rainy. Round 2 came out, the sun was shining.
I was going to say, what is the sun? Yeah.
But anytime you're at Iron Hill, I mean, you're deep in the woods anyway. But we have a pretty awesome card with Simon Lizotte, David Feldberg, Zach Melton again, and then we have our friend Joel Freeman. So everyone's tied up right now, tied for 5th at 3 under. So we look, Eagle and Ricky, not a lot of separation between them and our card. So
Not
really
at
tight
all.
race.
Yeah, it really could be anybody's.
Even all the way down the Philo sitting there in 10th spot. So we're going to move into hole 1. This is probably the most open hole on the course. Used to be a par 4. I thought it was a pretty easy par 4. It looks like a tree fell down and they actually pushed it up, made it a par 3, and now it's playing as a pretty tough par 3. We're going to have Simon here. We're going to see a variety of probably some real nice Anheuser shots. If you have the forehand, we might see a couple of them. Zach's set up really good for the lefty backhand. Simon's just kind of went a little early, kind of went off to the side there.
Yeah, maybe got a little high for him, and it carried a little further to the right.
Yeah.
And Dave's going to keep his a little wider, coming up a little shorter than expected, but he should have a pretty easy play from there.
Yeah, right in the middle of the fairway.
Now the lefty, this should be probably one of the easiest shots all day.
Yeah, I mean, he got to circle's edge in round 1, so I expect him to probably recalibrate that a little bit, maybe put a little bit more power and throw something just like that. That's a good shot from Zach.
Joel with a sidearm.
Yeah, he says he likes throwing sidearm. He's primarily a sidearm player, so probably licks his chops at some of these holes.
Ooh.
All right.
Cutting it a little close to that elbow there, but...
Yeah, he'll have a bid for his birdie. Dave's just going to lay up. Like you said, easy up and down from there. Just middle of the fairway. Just didn't really have the distance to reach.
Better to play it a little easier at the start of your round 2, seeing as how it is moving day. You want to kind of see how everything's landing out before you kind of go big or go home.
Simon had a really small window to kind of throw that through and get down there, so that was a really good shot from him. Joel's going to have the bid, so here's Zach.
Pretty nice size gallery today.
Yeah. So Zach's putter was on in round 1. He made a lot of outside the circle putts. I think inside the circle too. He hit band.
He capitalized
caged,
on every Gatekeeper rewind for round 1.
Yeah, so he was all over that. Good start to him here for round 2. As he'll be the lone birdie. Everyone else should be cleaning up their pars. We have a good variety of sponsored players on this card too.
Yeah,
Discmania, Dynamic, a little bit of everything. So we're moving to hole 2. This one is coming in at 380 feet. Kind of the opposite. We're going to have this slight bend over here to the left. Really good for a righty backhand. A lot of guardian trees. A lot of people kind of take like a backdoor route almost. You kind of have to get lucky here.
Yeah, I think really, like when we've said it before, and you kind of notice it with a couple other holes on this course, but keeping it higher to allow it to kind of work its way through the gap, unless you're Zach here.
Finding a way through, yeah.
But that's the typical play, is kind of keeping it on the higher end.
Yeah, it will allow you to kind of fade more onto the actual fairway.
Mm-hmm.
If you just throw more like this.
Yeah, kind of like that.
If you throw something like Zach did, something a little more power, you're going to kind of have that back door. But Simon, look at this. Whew, arced it.
Showing us how it's done.
Yeah. So here is our current Masters World Champion, David Feldberg. So his is looking pretty good as well. Ooh.
Yeah, that'll play.
Yeah.
Even with the roll backwards.
Yeah.
He's got a couple feet to spare.
I mean, anytime you're getting the circle 1 on this hole, I mean, you're really separating yourself from a lot of the field. Because a lot of people are hitting these early trees and just kind of laying up, taking their 3.
Now, Joel did mention to me that he had never really found his way into this part of the woods. Usually he always hits trees like deep in this patch, so he was able to find a line when he was walking up to the lie, and it looks like it works out for him just fine.
Yeah. So Zach, similar to round one, same distance out.
Oof.
Dave has really just been keeping it right on the fairway so far after these first 2 holes.
He is a past winner of this tournament as well.
Yeah. Good birdie from him. Joel's able to save his par. Zach should be able to do the same here.
Nice. Solid connection.
Couple birdies, couple bars. Simon with that awesome tap in. That's a well-deserved birdie. As we are going to move into hole 3. Hole 3 has a little bit of changes to it. They did push the pin back, and this is playing as one of the hardest holes on the course.
As we've seen on round 1.
Yeah, a lot of 6s here, a lot of 5s. So 760 feet. This is a really good roller hole if you have it. That low ceiling allows for that. If not, if you kind of have like a nice little turnover shot that's going to kind of finish from left to right, Zach should be able to kind of throw just the hyzer here. Here's Simon's roller.
And this is going to carry. It catches a really good cut, starts turning the right direction here.
Yeah, that was real good.
Yeah.
It's a good spot to be. And where they place the basket on the green now, it's kind of right on a ledge. So it could come into play if you kind of overshoot it. You can kind of shoot past it. Some people have kind of been using it as like a scapegoat. They kind of throw it right into it. Then they kind of have like a easy putt up.
And as we know, the green can be a little unforgiving depending on where you land.
Oh, yeah. I would say Iron Hill, maybe De La. Footing is one of the biggest factors here.
Early release from Zach here, so him and Dave are going to find themselves a little short.
Right in the middle. Fairway.
It is. If we're talking stats, it still is a fairway hit, for sure.
So I noticed a lot of people end up doing something like this where they kind of pull it really far to the left. And that's not really the greatest spot. You kind of get pinched off there.
Absolutely.
It's not a good spot to be. If anything, going over to the right or catching something to the right or even being in the rough to the right, I think you're in a better spot. We saw Eagle in round 1. He had to throw a forehand roller to a forehand roller, ended up taking a bogey. It's the same with Zach there. He's kind of down in the creek to the left, and he's going to be pinched off where he's going to have to find a really tight window.
Yeah, especially because you have to carry forward further for the pin. So, and because before it was a little bit more accessible from that gully.
Ooh, look at that. Yeah, you would be like he would be past the basket right now from the old pin position. I was kind of around where the old pin position was. Ooh, from Joel, look at that.
And that's playing the skip that you
To
don't
the max.
normally see here.
Simon coming in really hot. I don't know if he was like putting a bid on this or if he just kind of didn't know he was that close.
Well, like you said, round 1, a lot of the players were saying how it's not really that much of a chore to be able to play from that gully because you're still within the circle. So maybe he was using that as a backstop, maybe.
Yeah. I think he just gave it a little too much pepper. Zach, unfortunately, is going to roll back down into the creek. That's going to be a tough shot as well. So now he's going to look for the forehand to get through.
Needs to sit.
And a little past the basket, but good spot to be.
Yeah, it's an acceptable range for him.
Should be able to save his par. Or no, that's actually a move for bogey because he had the early hit as well. So it's going to be his bogey save. As Dave's just going to lay up.
Playing safe golf.
Yeah. And Simon a little outside of the circle. Slightly uphill as well.
Finds himself a bit right.
Yeah, he was saying to himself, he was like, "Oh, he airballed that." He was kind of surprised that he airballed that. I think he thought he had it dialed in. Joel, on the other hand, he's looking dialed in. That's a really good birdie from him. Like we said, Zach, he's going to be cleaning up this bogey. Simon with the par save. It's a pretty tight race. Simon, Dave, and Joel all sitting tied for third. So we're going to move into hole 4, coming in at 675 feet, another par 4. This one very similar to the last hole, I think a little bit more stretched out in terms of the fairway, and then a little tighter of an approach shot.
Yeah, we just about kind of passed your typical average landing zone, and then you're going to kind of battle these. I like to think of them as like fence posts. It kind of makes like a straight line guarding this basket right up here, and it's quite rocky up there.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to get in, though. I mean, you could go to the right side. There's that traditional right up the gut spot, but there are other ways to get down into the green. You don't have to hit that initial gap. But you do have to worry about that low ceiling there to the right. There's that tree that kind of hangs out.
So Joel pulls his a little bit, but
skip down there.
It does give him some pretty good distance, so I think it makes up for it.
But yeah, you kind of just, if you have the roller, you could throw it here, or if you want to throw that real big flex shot, I mean, that's ideal. You just kind of have to get around this tree. That's the only thing.
So this is looking like a great line. Just a tad high, and catches a roll.
Yeah. So Zach, this should be pretty straightforward for him. He should be able to just throw a nice big hyzer. There it is. He just has to miss this tree, and he does.
He punches through that one. Fairway.
So that's going to set up good for him. He'll probably go maybe with a forehand from there. We'll see. Simon threading the needle.
When we were walking away from that position, he was like, "That was so lucky."
Great shot from Simon. So Joel, this sets up good for his forehand shot. Gets through, skip. Yeah, look at that.
Any other type of green, that might have bounced in.
Yeah, seriously.
Now, Dave was battling some sticker bushes in there, so every time he would try to go for his pull, it would catch his arm.
Oh, wow.
So he faked me out at least 3 times because I thought he was going, but then so that's good stopping power for him, being able to keep his momentum going and not let the environment kind of affect his game.
So Zach's able to get down there. He unfortunately hit that tree, but he's right there. He'll still have a bid. He just might be walking away with a par here instead. Yeah. So everyone's going to be able to clean up. Zach being the farthest out, and he's only 20 feet, so.
Yeah.
You do have to worry about the road. The road long is OB, but I didn't really see anyone, come into play.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone play into the road.
Yeah, because you have that little gully down there that can catch any disc before it really rolls up there.
Most people are kind of chipping away at these, trees right before the pin.
Yeah.
To kind of prevent them from going long.
So, Dave unfortunately stops the star frame, but Simon and Joel now sitting tied for the lead, 5 under.
Love getting outside and challenging yourself to become better? How about spending time with family and friends, or just marveling at the pure joy of flight? Then you've come to the right place at the right time. Join the PDGA.
All right, moving into hole 5. This is a par 5. This was actually moved. This is a changed holes as well. This one's the tee box, though. They moved it to the other side of the street. Plays more as a true par 5, I would say.
Very fair par 5.
Yeah, your first shot, you want to land towards those wood chips we just went over. Your second shot, you kind of want to land up in this opening. You can go over there to the right. There is kind of like a back door over there. Split the trees if you want. And then really your third shot, you hope you have something that sticks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of danger of deflections and things up there on the green.
Yeah.
So that's looking like an early release from Joel, but that is still a play.
Fairway. Simon needs to miss that tree.
That's gonna be more like the play you want, though.
Yeah. Ooh, that tree actually kicked him right in the center, so that was a good spot. So this is actually playing like middle of the pack as a whole. So I think we saw a lot of eagles on this last year. I don't think we saw that many, or if any, this year. Zach, unfortunately, just kind of doesn't really get a lot of distance on that. Dave just needs to...
Yep. Playing from shorts.
Yeah. I think we're going to see a real big flex shot from Joel here. Sets up good for his forehand.
Throwing something pretty overstable to make sure that he doesn't go over there, and it looks like he still made a connection to that tree.
Fairway, though. I mean, that's a good spot to be. Zach, if he's able to...
Oh, no.
I was going to say, if he's able to get around that tree and get around that bend, he usually ends up over there to that side of the fairway, as we saw with a couple rewinds before.
And last year's.
Yeah. Oh, no.
That was a severe reaction.
Yeah. The good thing about Iron Hill, though, is the rough is very forgiving. The underbrush is not that bad. When you're scrambling, you're able to still proceed down the fairway. You're not really ever pitching out and losing a stroke there. You're able to still get up and down.
Yeah, as long as you're not kind of running away with it in your mental game, because, keeping your calm is key here.
Yeah. Yeah, Iron Hill is one of those courses where, like, you throw a couple bad holes, this thing could really eat you alive. Zach still has a little bit of work.
Anytime you're playing a roller of any capacity here, that's a risky shot.
Yeah. Uphill, too. Simon seems like he found a way through, but he unfortunately hit something. Drops him right on the fairway. He'll at least have a look out from circle 2.
All right,
That'll look. Yeah. It's about circle's edge. Dave, we should see a nice hyzer. Buckets. Good shot from Dave.
No, that stamp that Dave just threw, it was former President Obama on there.
Really?
Yeah.
Zach's able to drop it in.
I just needed a little more height to flex back.
It's a good layup. So yeah, Joel's definitely a little outside the circle. Probably looking at like 45 here.
Yeah, further than we thought.
Yeah. Oh,
just shy.
Get it up. It's a good bid. Zach's able to get in there. Simon as well. Gonna have some cleanups. Dave with the only birdie. I mean, we could see Dave is only one stroke ahead there, and Zach's in like, what was that, like 7th or 8th place? That just shows me how tight this field is right now. So we're going to move into hole 6. This is another par 4 at 625 feet. Playing is one of the easiest holes on the course, actually. Righty backhand, you kind of want to hug that right side, throw just a traditional hyzer shot out there, and if you have a forehand,
some kind of glidey.
Yeah. And then your second shot, if you have like a real nice turnover shot, you can do that with a putter, or if you want to throw something overstable, a nice little flick shot if you got it.
Yeah, so that was a great shot by Dave.
Yeah, anytime you get in the crick or past that crick, you're in a good spot. It's looking real good from Joel. This should have a good skip. Yeah.
A little obstructed. And there was reports of bees over there.
Be careful. I know that feeling.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Stepped on a beehive once and got stung probably 30 times.
Lost a disc in the process.
Yeah. Then it ended up in a couple states over, didn't it? Or it ended up in South Carolina.
Carolinas. Yeah.
So from Philly to Carolinas. It's interesting from Simon. Oh.
Yeah, he didn't have quite a look. Pinched off kind of behind this this bend here.
Yeah, good idea, though. I mean, going out there with the roller. He's going to throw another one. He's able to get through, but he's probably going to be losing a stroke to some of the guys on the card here. Mm-hmm. Zach, this should set up as a nice hyzer shot. Just drops it in. Yeah.
More of like a flex.
Ooh.
I thought he was bidding that one.
Yeah. Some reaction on the trees. And this hole, we've seen rollaways on this hole, so you definitely want to at least penetrate that little green that's there where the rocks are.
Yeah, those like guardian boulders can really put yourself in kind of like this.
Exactly like that.
So something that circles edge then goes 40 feet back.
This is still a long look for Simon.
Not so happy about that one.
Joel, about the same distance as last time. It's uphill again. Oh.
Still hitting metal, though.
Yeah. Zach just inside the circle. Ooh. Boom. Ooh, okay.
In danger of being a little high, but
Yeah.
it worked out.
All right. Simon just wants to get off this hole.
He's shrugging it off, though.
Yeah. He's one of the best at it. Dave would have been parked if that tree wasn't there. But it was. But he's able to still make his putt. Another birdie.
Narrowing that gap a little more.
Yeah, 2-stroke swing between Dave and Simon.
Well, and that's why I really like courses like this, because it allows the scoring separation to be so tight that it makes every round a battle.
Yeah.
Where, let us know how you, what you think about that in the comments below.
All right. Hole 7, 370 feet. This played kind of in the middle of the pack. Last year, this was one of the hardest holes.
Yeah, no changes to it this year.
No, it's just we've been seeing a lot. Last year, a lot of people would kick off these trees, kind of go over there to the left, and that's one of the spots on the course that's one of the roughest. That is a spot where you might have to pitch out. Dave gets circle's edge here. But I haven't really seen anyone have any bad kicks. Everyone's been able to get down there successfully.
Yeah, and it looks like it's a putter shot mostly. It looks like that's what
he's
Zach
throwing. He's throwing a judge here.
And I think Dave did he didn't throw a judge, but I think it was putter as well.
As that's going to be just inside the circle. See, this you have to throw something that's straight that will kind of just fade a little bit at the end. Joel might be throwing like a Gator 3 or something that's more like a mid-range. Yeah. There's that nice
flexy.
Yeah, super flexy. He's gonna hit that tree, but he's in the circle.
Oh, a nice little roll too. Nice.
Yeah, good shot from Joel. Simon looks like he's lining up that forehand.
Oh
no!
Right into the dirt.
Threading the needle. Man, those shots are so nice from him. Dave is just inside the circle.
Oh,
he knew it.
Fell a little off balance too.
Yeah, he came right up to me after that and said, "Man, this is my first circle one miss." So he was upset that he let that one go.
You can't get them all though.
Nope.
It's good to see that some of these guys are still human.
Yeah. So Zach's going to airball that, unfortunately. It's uncharacteristic of him. Joel is going to get the 2.
Who are you waving at, Joel?
Hey, who knows, man? This is a woods course. There's people just littered throughout the woods. Joel's going to get the lone 2. He's going to pick up a stroke on the whole card. And even Zach, I mean, this is well within his range, but still, it's a putt for par.
Nice.
All right, drops it in.
With authority.
We'll get some cleanups. So if we check in, Dave and Joel sitting in second, 6 under.
Joel with the lone bird.
We're going to move into hole 8. Usually the first backup comes here. This hole, talk about footing. Uphill the whole way, 670 feet, par 5.
It is a fight.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely get down there. A lot of people end up off the fairway, though, and then you're just scrambling the entire time to get down here. There are some lines that you can take. Then you have this raised basket, really nice green.
And it really opens up at back there as well. So if you're shooting a little aggressively towards the raised basket, you can find yourself pretty long.
Mm-hmm. Joel just kind of rolled his wrist a little too much angle. I know. You saw what he was thinking though. That could have been really.
He wanted
good.
to hug that left side there.
Mm-hmm. And nice little fade back to the other side. But if you don't have the flex shot, you could just throw a nice higher shot like that. Unfortunately, that's going to kick over to the rough.
Dave mentioned something about that's like the line that Ricky likes to take. So you could hear him in the audio like, "Be like Ricky."
Zach's gonna hit that early tree.
Tight tee pad.
Yeah.
By the way,
if you didn't already know. And once going back to what you said, man, just throw it a little bit higher, a little more lofty, and it does wonderful things like that.
Just the slight Anheuser. Keep it high so that it kind of glides a little bit more for you, and it gives it plenty of time to just fight its way back.
The problem is there people anticipate that Anheuser shot, and they like really rip it, and then they end up just like turning these things over, and they go right into the rough.
And it's really just a difference of a couple degrees even.
Mm-hmm. So Feldberg is, and we've seen this before, you just throw something like grenade, overhand, thumber, whatever you got. I mean, at that point, it's really spray and pray.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Zach just fighting all the way up this hill in those woods on the right last round.
He was in the rough the entire, like he was off the fairway the entire time, all of his shots. And I think he still got the birdie.
Talk about fairness, you know?
Yeah. But I mean, the thing is, there's so many trees. You have one bad kick, and it could kick you pretty far off. And then at that point, you're not looking at something good. I thought Joel was lining up a roller for a second.
What kind of madman do you take him for? A little wonky footing there for Dave.
Oh, no.
I think that might have been why that
Yeah.
happened.
I would say this is the worst, other than maybe hole 12, this is the worst with footing, this hole. I mean, I tripped just walking up it. Zach just hits that late tree.
Yeah, the whole fairway is kind of like one big staircase almost.
Dave.
Yeah, smart play.
Yeah. Just take your medicine. Joel, I'm sure, has a line. If not, he makes a line. That was a good shot.
Yeah.
That was a very tough shot for him.
One for the scramble percentages.
Yeah, so far this front nine, Joel's really been well in the scramble. He's been able to get up and down every time.
Yeah, playing, his average play is very consistent, and then he's able to recover with those blemishes.
Yeah.
From those blemishes.
I mean, that's all the difference, taking a par instead of a bogey sometimes. Not about always getting the birdies. Sometimes you got to play for par.
And Joel hasn't been touring for very, very long, so it's nice to see in this event it's showing that he's really settling in and getting his groove.
Yeah, I mean, he was just on lead card for Mad City. He's been on lead card a couple times. Covered.
Good season for him.
Yeah.
He may say something differently to you, but he might be a little too hard on himself.
Yeah. It's a good putt from Zach. I love this hole, but I hate this hole. I've
It takes a long time to play.
Yeah.
So what you're not observing here is that a backup right away.
Mm-hmm.
B, a lot of examining what type of next shot you're taking from each player. So this could average a 20-minute hole.
It was 20 to 25 minutes during this round. That just shows you what post-production does. I mean, you see it on the live coverage with Smashbox sometimes. I mean, sometimes you got to wait. It takes a while.
Yeah, so I mean, for the viewers at home, what do you do to keep yourself warm and in the game during those long backups?
All right, hole 9. Love this hole. You have a nice straight shot, 555 feet, par 4. You can throw a putter, just land right here if you want to be aggressive. Maybe Zach will with the lefty. You can throw something that will get up to this spot. You have this really tight line down here with this nice green. Kind of settles down, though. Kind of have this little ditch that's in there, so you don't have to worry about any.
Yeah, I love this hole.
Yeah.
It's something that it really plays where the dogleg starts as your ideal landing spot. And then I also like filming this hole because it's got a boulder behind it that I can stand on and get the best viewpoint.
So this hole did average over par, but it's right there in the middle. So it was 0.1 strokes over.
Joel cuts that corner off. He's going to find himself a little bit in the rough, but he should be able to play from there, no problem.
I feel like a lot of players just try to chew too much off on this hole, and then they kick that tree there, and it kicks them over to the right early, and then that is not a spot you want to be.
Honestly, the way to go is straight up the gut.
Exactly.
With something that's not super fast.
Exactly what Dave did right there. Probably threw a putter. This looks like a putter from Zach.
And that one got away from him a little.
Yeah.
That's going to not be an easy play from there.
We talked about this being very forgiving. This is one of the holes that is not. I mean, you can see he's still definitely going to try to take some distance away, but
you run the risk of not getting out.
Yeah, like that. This is a very technical shot for Simon as well. He's just far enough in it that he's got to be awkward.
Oh,
he's gonna hit some
that
trees.
late tree kept him from getting fairway.
Feldberg's been doing what he's been doing, man. He's just been hitting the fairways all day. Just playing nice, consistent golf. And this is looking dialed in. Yeah. That's going to be a nice tap-in 3 for him.
Mm-hmm. Playing smart. Pays off.
So Joel, this lines up real good with his forehand. He's going to throw another one of those flex forehands. I believe this is his Gator 3. And he drops it in as well. Simon, still some work. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, and that mound served as a pretty good backdrop for it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Not too fast of a green. Zach, still some work to do. No. That's unfortunate. I mean, this is for his par. No.
And for someone to have a bad break after a bad break on something like this and only keeping it to one, like a single bogey, he kept it together. He was able to, collect himself.
He's sitting 1 under, not too bad. Simon, other than that one blemish, he's also putting up a okay front 9, sitting at 2 under for the round. Joel, bogey free, looking real good out there, scrambling really well. He's 4 under, sitting at 7, tied for 4th. Dave's also in there, bogey free, so pretty good rounds, or pretty good front 9s for some of these guys. Very consistent golf out here. I like to see that.
Yeah, 3 dots of red total. That's awesome.
Yeah, not bad. So that's going to be it for the front 9 coverage. We're just going to take a look at some of the scoreboards as some people are finishing up their rounds, some people behind us. So we see Ricky Wasaki with that lead. Albert Tam, Eagle still in there. Joel playing really well.
Looks like James Conrad does drop a few here, unfortunately.
Not really keeping pace, but that's going to be it for our front 9 coverage of round 2 of the Delaware Disc Golf Challenge. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, share, send it to your friends. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Come back for back 9 coverage.
Thanks a lot, everybody. Take care.